Oh wow, stranger and stranger and fishier and fishier. So I had double policies on my Allstate for the same vehicle and renters in two different places. Although, even though I'd set up automatic withdrawal, that wasn't included in the automatic withdrawal, and I was not informed by the agent that I had to pay that separately. And so it was set for cancellation after I had told him the story of what had happened with the nefarious actions and legal actions of my previous manager. And so he knows that I am working on putting in a claim towards that. So I have called corporate, and now they're fully aware, plus I have it all recorded. But it's kind of pointing more and more towards identity theft and like literal cloning of a person, sort of a thing. And the fact that they got the same exact automobile here in Butte at the dealership that I had fraudulent stuff happen with them in the past. Yeah, like it would be really easy to try to duplicate Sally, get in a wreck, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it's so odd. I don't know how this works, but obviously the sketchy side does, you know? So no, I mean, it's all starting to point more and more towards them trying to basically duplicate my personality and use my identity and, you know, take me out. And, you know, like the way everything was set up, it would have worked nicely. And it's like more and more proof, actual real proof is coming out every single day concerning this, which is making me look less and less crazy and delusional, which is what they're trying to do. And it's not in my head, because as I can quite solidly prove, this stuff's weird and sketchy and nefarious. So it doesn't matter. Like, the dum-dums are going to lose. And the genius light person here is going to win. And however this like New York Jeep is involved, I hope they're found. And as the rest of every single part of the nefarious little web going on here, all y'all dominoes, you're falling. Dominoes are falling. So yeah, update. It's odd that I had double insurance policies at two different addresses. Very odd. And what also is odd is that the insurance agent, which I haven't heard back from in 3 business days, I didn't count his weekend days where he's available by appointment. I'm talking about Thursday, he was supposed to get a hold of me. Friday, he was supposed to get a hold of me. Today, he failed to get a hold of me. And he wanted me to basically, like, his preference was for me to communicate with him via his cell phone rather than the office phone. And he said, I have it in text, but like my phone's still in security lockout. But he said basically, oh, it's all taken care of and I'll call you. Well, when I just called Allstate, those double policies were still open on both the vehicle and renter's insurance. So I think he lied to me, perhaps. However, it does seem like it has been canceled and I am paid up to date. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a hold of this auto dealership. Another very odd thing on my phone is that I tried to get a vehicle through Randash Auto in Bozeman, and they were like completely unwilling to like work with me while I was there. And then I basically just got a text from them, like, if you still need help, blah, 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 which I deleted right away, because when the other thing was going down with the auto dealership here in Butte, the Subaru and Toyota dealership, they even gave me the finance guy gave me a business card of a guy that I never even dealt with. But when that was going on, and JC Billion owns those car dealerships, but when that, and which a duplicate car just like mine showed up at the day after. But backtracking, what was I trying to say? They're messing with me because they're busted. Crap. Dang it. Oh, what was the other thing so nefarious involving all of that? Oh, so I had actually an Android phone at that time, and I ended up losing, well, like he had sent me some very discriminatory messages, basically saying there's one thing I can't change, basically calling me crazy. And I put this, and I did a claim with Montana discrimination, which they didn't cite on the fact on the side of a chronically ill person that had been discriminated against and called crazy by a car dealership because I wouldn't drive their car that they said no longer belonged to me, and I wouldn't tell them exactly when I was doing it, and I had to close down my PayPal at that time, and so they've still refused to refund me the $2,000 down payment on that. But no, he sent me crazy text messages, called me crazy, although he was the one acting crazy on him, and hopefully I can find him and get a picture of him, and I'll post those as well. But, yeah, when I talked to the Montana discrimination lady, she says, well, maybe he's talking about your credit. I'm like, are you kidding me? Anyone's credit can be fixed literally overnight. If I had all the money to pay everything off, my credit would be fine in 2 months, you know, especially if, like, they actually reported things. For some reason, with my Glacier Bank, like, you know, even though I'd paid off an account and had an account with them for an entire year, that is still showing up on my credit report. So there's a lot of carelessness being done, and it's really affecting, you know, average, ordinary citizens that are really struggling to get by anyways. But no, so when I had that Android, all of those, everything got wiped, and it was preceded by all of these phone calls by warranty, auto warranty. You all of a sudden get all these auto warranty calls, and then, you know, weird text messages from auto dealerships. And I know that a whole lot of them are nefarious, and they're probably in cahoots with one another. But I found that interesting that I had suddenly, once again, gotten a text from Randash after all of this stuff is going down with the identity theft, with the, you know, illegal firing, or, you know, unlawful term, unwarranted termination, whatever the term is, I can't think of it now. And the other text that ended up missing as I was dealing with these auto people the last time was, and then I found out that they indeed had a scam. I'd heard from other people that were on disability that they basically had a regular scam run in at these dealerships here, where somebody on disability would come in and they would fish for them for, you know, additional income. And then when they couldn't back it up and prove it with paperwork, they would take away the down payments and or trade. They would keep it, and the person would not get the car, and they would say you committed bank fraud. Well, in my case, my jewelry production and sale was legitimate. It's all up at his store in Uptown Butte right now. All that jewelry that I sold at that time that I reported to them is up in that store. You know, and so I'm sorry that they wanted to try to say that the bank didn't like my self-employment invoices. They're the same ones that these stores would submit to their CPAs, you know, for end of the year taxes. And so it was like they failed at that, trying to fraud me and then, you know, call me fraudulent at the same time. It's all been a setup, so many setups. And you guys fail at every single turn. And I'm so glad the dominoes are falling. And everybody that has committed fraud against me, bank fraud, stolen property, whatever, you're all going to be busted. You're all busted. All of you together are busted. And the reason that, you know, there's a network that's real easy for them to, like, you know, do stuff with is because it has to do with secret society. And these people are members of that, you know. So, yeah, y'all are done. Your dog days are done. All you evil people are being exposed. All you nefarious people are going to be found out for your extreme crimes against humanity and against the people of the United States of America. And, yeah, every single one of you with an agenda to cash in on my life, you're all going to be busted, and you're all going to be found out for your extreme federal crimes, because I have none on me. I live my life straight up. I mind my business. I don't break the law. You know? You don't even want to break the law even a tiny bit these days with the RoboCops around. When they want you, they'll do anything to get you. But speaking of, like, so my grandson's dad actually, you know, made it a point to give me some money to sit their dogs, and they're going out of state. And so they are on Wednesday, as well as my parents are going back down to Arizona on Wednesday. And I happen to know that they're again going to try to kidnap me. like they were trying to do at Willow Creek when all of a sudden I was still going to stay there but couldn't work there anymore. Yeah. Fail, fail, epic fail. You all are dumb. You want to try to step to somebody of, you know, a genius level that set the curve in America as a female and also as an intuitive / psychic. You really want to step to me? And also has good intentions of protecting the next generations? Well, you know what? I've got so much documentation on my side. I'm not the crazy one. People that are doing this stuff, people that are stealing from their own family members, people that are trying to take them out and destroy their lives to cover up their fraud. No, all y'all are the crazy ones. You're sociopaths. You're psychopaths. You're the ones that need help. You're the ones that need true help, because I don't need, you know, to be put in a mental hospital for having a Lyme disease co-infection. Sorry, Dad. I know you signed me up for these programs, and you know that you did, and it's pretty obvious by how much you gaslight me that you know it's really going on. You know, you need counseling in a big way because you are a sociopathic narcissist, and you have been for way too long. And I really hope that you come correct and you make things right, and I hope you get your brain back. Maybe if you actually do the right thing and right your wrongs, you might actually get your mind back. But no, the true crazy people are these crazy professionals that are involved with secret societies that will wipe off somebody's text messages, hack their phone, and wipe out their text messages. And at the same time that happened, I watched 2 of my birds die right in front of my face. One was a parakeet that was iffy, had a little ankle bracelet, but the other one was a completely healthy cockatiel named Simon, because he'd play Simon Says. He'd give me little kisses. He'd come up to the side of the cage and give me kisses, and he would like sing a pattern, a whistle, a pattern, a different pattern. And if I didn't get it right, he'd be like, he did this squawk that sounded like, wait a minute, and then he would do the same one again. But if I got it right, he would actually move on and do a different pattern of whistling. Well, when I had my phone plugged in right next to that cage, he started flapping his wings and squawking, and I thought he was a she and was laying an egg, until all of a sudden he peeled over and died right in front of my face, right next to my phone. And the other text message that went missing was one concerning a tort case. I had gotten a referral for a tort case from a college roommate that actually represents veterans, and told her what was going on and family connections and so on and so forth. And so she found this tort case attorney and sent that to me. That ended up missing. I tried to call my dad's attorney friend, who's a big shot lawyer in this town, who my dad has bought land next to up there, and he wouldn't even call me back. Even though he was willing to try to sue Department of Corrections, Juvenile Probation, when my daughter was put in a group home up in Ronan, up on the res, and then it was shut down because the woman basically started a relationship with my underage daughter at the time. So yeah, my dad was willing to set that up with him, you know what I mean, for us to do that. And we didn't end up doing that, you know. And when we were up there in his office at that time, he let us know that he was involved with the river rescue, with search and rescue on the river. And how well has that been going for the last few years? Well, for those that like to feed off of other people. But anyways, he wouldn't even call me back concerning a tort case. And when I called and left multiple messages. So if somebody's unwilling to talk to you about that and they're really good friends with your dad, you kind of got to wonder, right?